Okay, Timbersaw. With good luck, you might be able to blow up the Abaddon before his ulti even pops. Because of the whirling death damage just being ridiculous and the percentage drops, doing pure damage. You can do a lot of work on this Abaddon. He will hate you in the laning stage. But we have seen an Abaddon really bully a Timbersaw in the early minutes at those tower dives. I think that was the TA Abaddon lane even, where they had the curse of the Luna. The curse of Avernus onto the Timbersaw, and the tower hitting you extra fast because of it, and you're just dying to the tower, basically. And there we go. There we go. Abaddon Luna versus the Timbersaw.
So if you remember that, it was actually the Timbersaw diving like a madman, which allowed it to happen. So I still think once the Timber gets level 3, he has 2 points in the reactive armor, which wasn't the case last time around we saw this matchup. It's going to be quite okay for him. And of course, the Keeper of the Light is one of those heroes who pushes in the wave. He goes out to stack or do something, so the Timbersaw will be okay in the first couple of levels and should get to that level 3 timing quite fast. Though Nigma Galaxy seem to believe that this is the way to go. It is a duo of heroes that can definitely threaten the Timbersaw level 1, but I just don't think against the Keeper of the Light is that great, because you don't want to be running in level 1 and level 2 into the Illuminate. It hurts way too much. So I'm not 100% certain about this. And Nigma Galaxy, if their Shadow Shaman dies, there's nothing to catch the Ember. So I'm not the biggest fan of the heroes that they have. I'd rather see something like a Wraith King. Despite it being not so great against the Timber, it will give you a little bit more lockdown in the burst damage, which the Luna does not provide.
Yep. Also, Womi Timbersaw, 8 games played, 75% win rate in the tournament. DB, Tiny is in the pool. He's played 6 out of the 7 Tiny games in their team. They have won by Narman. 83% win rate on DB's Tiny. So 1 loss and 5 victories. 5-1, that is. Let's see if they want to get that as their last pick. They're going to have to pick it before Nick Galaxy goes for their final pick. And they're kind of missing an off-lane piece here.
Tiny is really solid because the Aphotic Shield is not going to help the Storm against the Avalanche. That's why the hero is so big here. Though I wouldn't be too surprised if they went for something like a Medusa, the Ember Spirit and the Timbersaw, constantly keeping Nigma Galaxy there in place. And then the Medusa just, Medusa just gets too farmed.
Yeah,
oh, she's banned? Oh, okay.
They're both banned, so no Tiny. We'll go for the Spectre this time. And talking about Spectre, Army Geniuses has not played Spectre throughout this entire tournament, so this has got to be a pocket in the A strat, something they've played in either in their pubs or in their scrims or something in their past other tournaments. But in the Pro Series, not a single Spectre game for DB. You mentioned the Necrophos, which is a very good offlane answer to this. Let's see if they take that route.
We'll see if they do. So the Necro is actually quite solid against the Timbersaw as well, especially with the Storm and the Luna doing some magic damage. You come in, you cut him down. Later on in the game, you're always great against the Spectre. And Army Geniuses, Medusa, I mentioned her. She was banned, obviously, but that type of a hero, she can at least help you defend the towers. The Spectre, every 2.5 minutes, you go into a fight and that's it. So Nigma Galaxy will have the timing to dodge the Timber and dive somewhere else if they don't want to. So I'm kind of looking at December and the Keeper. We're gonna have to do a very good job to just constantly poke Nigma and give vision to the Spectre, to what's happening around the map, so that the Spectre can get her items. This is a very powerful late game hero, but you need to get there. And I think if Nigma Galaxy covered themselves with something that's good against the Spectre late game, that they should be okay in this game.
Plenty of time to think about the last pick as well. What Enigma Galaxy might want to bring out. They have to make their decision. And it is an Enigma. If you're not going for a Necrophos, you might as well bring another that does percentage-based damage. And that is also Enigma Galaxy's first Enigma pick into the tournament. This is group stages and playoffs both added in together. So 2 new heroes, Spectre and Enigma, from both of these 2 teams. And I'm jumping the Enigma hype train. It is the black hole time.
I like the...
You've already guessed me saying
the idea. Yeah, of course. I know that you are an Enigma fanboy. I like the Enigma Galaxy pick as well. The one problem I have with them is that they're very limited in finishing people off with their heroes. But I think if you bring the Storm Spirit to the Enigma relatively early on, and you use the Luna to help get the tier 1 towers down, what you need to do is mirror the movements of Army Geniuses. Army Geniuses send the Timber to push one tower, you mirror the movement and go push another one on the other lane. So if Nigma Galaxy are able to do that, open up the map a little bit. The Storm Spirit, I think this game he should be gunning for an Orchid at some point. I think you're gonna be in a good spot for Nigma Galaxy. The Luna hits her timing before the Spectre, and Army Geniuses, they can push their advantage, but if Abaddon is playing with the Storm and they're on the aggressive, you know where the Ember is, your heroes are not going to be dying. Enigma Galaxy, they have the late game answer to the Spectre in this Enigma, and literally nothing on Army Geniuses to stop the BKB Black Hole, unless Ember wants to go for a Basher and hope for a lucky Bash, which is not a route that you're willing to take.
Let it begin. We already saw the Filipino Pride battle earlier on. Now it's time for Indo Pride. Nigma Galaxy.SEA versus Army Geniuses. The Army Geniuses team that has made their way all the way from Phase 1 up till this far in the tournament. And actually, kind of a fun part is every team that basically started off from the upper bracket is remaining in the tournament. One of them is now unfortunately going to have to drop out, and it's either Army Geniuses or Nigma Galaxy. Polaris, who beat Army Geniuses 2-0. Execration beat Nigma 2-0. Execration beat Polaris today 2-1 in our previous series. I would recommend to watch that. That was a pretty fun series. And one of these teams is going to drop out and take home a hefty amount, 3.2K. You would love to fight for that first place prize of $16,000, though, with this 40K spread.
It definitely wouldn't. The way, though, Nigma Galaxy I'd like for them to fight in this game in particular is dodge the Timber, just literally ignore him, and every single time that you see the Keeper of Light pushing out the waves, you kill him. I think that's the main thing for Nigma Galaxy in this game. Alacrity needs to kill Narman multiple times, because when you look at Nigma Galaxy's lineup, they're not that great at pushing out the waves. The Luna obviously doesn't want to show too often. The Sleight of Fist chains, double of it, could easily kill in your dream, so you want to be in the jungle farming. And on the other hand, Army Geniuses, they have the Keeper of the Light, and Nigma Galaxy don't have a hero like that. If the lanes are constantly being pushed towards you, it's gonna be a problem. So Nigma Galaxy, I think a few things: dodge the Timber and kill Narman, and you're gonna be really happy with the outcome of this game. Late game, you have the Enigma, no counters for it, so Mizu should be the strongest late game hero here.
Yeah. Mizu has definitely got the best scaling in this entire game, depending how far Nigma wants to stretch this out. Got a lot of options to look at this game. You want to hit either your 20-minute Luna timing and look at your 38-minute Luna versus Spectre battle. It might fall a bit into the arms of Army Geniuses, and then you're looking at what is Mizu's shape on the Enigma. So I totally agree with you. Timings are most of the part during this game. There are several timings for Nigma Galaxy. Army Geniuses, I don't think you can really end this game early either, even with the Ember Timber Caudal trio, basically. Well, at the Ogre Mage out to the Mex as well. But that Spectre timeline, or basically his timing on his items, is probably Army Genius's best bet. So in terms of all of that, it's hard not to say Nigma Galaxy in this game. But let's see. Laning stage usually tells a big part of the story. Ooh, how things might be escalating. We'll be looking at Alacrity versus Azura, Ember versus Storm, Electricity versus Fire here in this mid lane.
Army Geniuses, they have to use the fact that they have better wave push and pretty solid mobility. Both teams are relatively mobile. You see Storm on the one side, and you see the Ember on the other one. But if the lanes are pushed out, you can more easily use that mobility of yours. So that is the thing that Army Geniuses have going for them, and that is the thing that they have to use. Of course, having the Spectre helps as well, because he's always going to be there to assist if need be.
Yeah.
That is the thing Army Geniuses need to really capitalize on, and that's the first 15 to 20 minutes. Then the Luna timing that you mentioned, around 25-30 minute mark, you need to dodge that one a bit. Luna is going to be too powerful, and then your win condition is around the Spectre having the Skadi, maybe having the Ags plus the Manta. That's your timing to win. You catch the Enigma, and you're going to be okay.
See how much denies Mizu can come up with in this lane. Usually Enigma wins the Spectre, but Spectre at level 4 just becomes so hard to kill that you're not killing either. But as long as you're not tanking Spectral Daggers, you should be okay. So if Joken can keep the Ogre away, which is, by the way, a pretty difficult task, because even if the Shaman hits hard, the Ogre has a lot of armor, so he mitigates some of that damage dealt by Joken. In a 1v1, Enigma will get the better lane. But if the support is aggressive, you are going to have a bit of a hard time with this Enigma. And Spectre will rejoice for every move that Varus is going to make.
Yeah, for sure he will. It's we are probably going to be seeing a game with not too many kills. We can assume that there's going to be a lot of poking and going back, but kill potential isn't really there though. Ogre. Too tanky.
Yeah, they just don't have the damage to kill the Varus Ogre here. Level 1 Eidolons. Shaman might just have to start leveling up his Aether Shock to have the more damage output here in this lane. Otherwise, he won't be able to win. Boom Boom is also doing a pretty decent job of keeping the Caudle at bay, or at least keeping him busy while trying to block the camps. At least the hard camp is blocked. Boom Boom has the easy camp for the pulling. And Womi getting solo XP for himself. Very important for this Timbersaw. Get his game running.
There's the level 3. So Narmer now, he can do whatever he wants. He's even trying to rotate to the mid lane with the Illuminate. Alacrity could very easily die here.
Alacrity, yeah, Alacrity could die. Just one good blow. Just one good blow. That's all he needs. And first blood. No, 40 HP. That was so close, but no, it doesn't happen.
You mad?
Come on.
You mad? I'm mad.
Says Womi.
Azura?
Yeah. There we go. Azura secures the first blood. In the end, the Illuminate was about to connect as well, but the Ember Spirit will secure this one for himself.
We hyped it up too much for it not to happen. I think it would have been the
made
bottom.
Yeah,
we did. It would definitely be the bottom of our careers if that kill didn't happen, but Army Geniuses, they get...
I'm pretty sure I've seen worse. Boom Boom, though. Chased into the trees by the Timbersaw. Norman has returned to the bottom lane. Illuminate will not connect this time. Also looking at this level 4 Enigma. 10 denies. Make that 11. Most likely going to be ramping up even more. DB is going to call help from Varus, but Jokem is doing such a good job. Just keeping this Ogre busy. Not really putting himself in peril. Because if the Shaman drops too low, it means the Ogre has free roam in the lane. And his job is help the Spectre drive this Enigma away. Enigma's got really good balance in this lane at the moment.
They're getting everything they need.
Yeah,
and Varus is finally going to get that pull off. Nope, Jokem.
Interrupts. And another deny. That's 14 now from Mizu. This is going so well. I really love watching good Enigma work, but it's mainly thanks to like your pause 4 playing aggressively, and Jokem is really making this possible for Mizu. I could watch this lane for like 8 minutes, but I'm pretty sure all the people watching this game are gonna be like, can we please watch something else than just top lane?
You're like impressed, and no one else is, but you're really liking what's happening.
I am. I'm really liking what's happening there, but I'm just, you know, running the observer here at the same time is like, well, I can't enjoy this lane. I gotta stop being a fanboy and, you know, cast the game.
Also, one thing to point out from the heroes that were on that top lane, the Spectre is going for a Blade Mail against the Luna, against the Storm. That's a really good item. You just go in on them, you pop the Blade Mail, and they're going to be in trouble. And another thing that's going to be a pretty big one in this game is what Jokem decides to do in this game in terms of items. I really want to see a Blink Dagger on him, because that might stop the potential split push from Army Geniuses.
Every time Radiant
I've seen a lot of... this is basically just out of the game, technically, but regarding Mizu and nickname changes, is it because of the new... Hang on, let's watch this river fight first. Is there anything special here? No, nothing happening here. So is it because of the new TI 11 era starting off from this season why people have been changing their nicknames a lot? Coming up with new names, maybe you know, new me.
Dota players tend to try to blame something else on their failures. So maybe they're just not liking how they're playing at the moment. The bottom lane, there's gonna be a fight. We already missed 2 kills.
Yeah, there was
Let's
2
not miss
kills. They
this.
got solo black holing the Spectre in the top lane, ganking the Ember Spirit next to the Action Rune. But Timbersaw
Storm is coming over.
It's gonna be the hardest kill for them. Alacrity is at half mana. Womee playing patient here, but gonna walk into the shackles in the end. Remnants are gonna be there, and that's gonna be the end of Womee. Nigma Galaxy coming up with 3 kills in total now. Spectre in the top lane. They killed the Ember rotating from the mid lane. They killed the Timber in the bottom lane. So great success.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
Weird, Azura is rotating before he gets the Searing Chains. I'd like him to at least have 1 point in the Searing Chains, and then the Call Chakra magic would really kick in. But he comes without it. Let's see what he can do. Not much. Not much. It seems like.
Guess he just wanted to give raw damage, I guess. The cooldown reduction is very good, having that level 4 in the Slate of Fist. But Jokum, the warding action comes with the cost of his life. Sometimes that's a good move, because right now, if you look at the shop, they don't have any Observer wards in stock anymore. It's just the 1 Obs on Narman. So dying for a D ward can sometimes be really good in this early laning stage, because there's just not enough Obs wards in stock to replace it with a new one.
Well, let's be real. His life isn't really worth that much. It's not like they got a lot of gold out of him. Maybe 250 in total for their entire team. And he got the vision off of them. He pulled 2 cores towards him. One of them being the Timber, allowed the Luna to push a little bit, and of course, all of that prepared the scenario here where the Luna can now farm the stacks while the tower is being pushed. So Nigma Galaxy are gonna be quite happy with this, especially if their smoke towards top works out. And DB, it seems like he is not aware of this.
He is in the line of fire. Alacrity misses the first jump, gets the connection on the second. He could still level up the Haunt if you wanted to. Blade Mail is there. Very spiky fella. Nizu is also here with the percentage-based damage. That should allow them to get the kill. Alacrity also dodges the Ignite, but this taking way too much magical damage. And a good retaliation from Army Geniuses, but it does come with a big rotation of 3 heroes to save the 4th.
And the tower fell. So if the tower didn't fall there, Nigma Galaxy, they wouldn't be too happy about it. But losing 2 heroes to get the Spectre and for such a huge rotation from Army Geniuses, waste their time, is going to be quite nice. Still, Womee is doing a good job. He is pushing the bottom lane. It's actually Nigma Galaxy getting the first tower, which is important. We talked about what Nigma Galaxy have to do is match the Timbersaw. Don't go and kill him. Just do something else on the map. And that's exactly what they did. Unluckily for them, the Storm died, but it's still a big committal, as you mentioned, for the side of Army Geniuses.
For sure. Mizu at 52 and 20 on this Enigma. Second place in net worth, right behind the Luna. Has slowed down the Spectre by 800 gold, so his mission is complete. That's the first phase of his gameplay. Slowed down the Spectre's progress, set him up for a kill for his team, killed him once by himself. That was the really big part of the laning stage, where he killed the Spectre, and Alacrity, beautiful jump! Absolute fantastic read from Alacrity. Long jump with a level 1 ball lightning on top of the Spectre. Blows him up and gets a kill for himself.
He saw that the Spectre was lowish on the ward, and the second he went for the camp, the scan was used, and he's like, yep, he's there, I'm gonna go and murder him. So very nicely done by the Storm Spirit, really. And this is the thing, that move from Nigma Galaxy onto the enemy part of the jungle with the smoke, it's not only about what's gonna happen then, it's what's the follow-up gonna be. And they left the ward earlier there, and it secured another kill for the Spectre. That means that now DB, for 10.5 minutes, he hasn't used the Haunt. Army Geniuses, they want to make something happen, and they want to get a kill with this Haunt, but the question is where you're gonna make that happen.
I love how Womee has the confidence to just kind of play with the Abaddon a little bit, but did he stay for too long? Because now there's a sudden Alacrity Storm on top of him as well, and Jokum gets the Hex out. Looking for the Shackles, not needed. Here comes the Haunt. Ember Spirit instantly shackled up
Valerie's
though.
in.
DB, does he have the damage though? They're gonna sack the Shadow Shaman. They know the magical burst is too much to deal with. Nigma Galaxy try to support for the offlaners, so they're happy with this. And the Haunt is now on cooldown.
That's a perfect play from Nigma Galaxy. We talked in the draft how you don't want to go for the Timber Saw unless you're 100% certain that you're gonna get the kill, because it's so much time wasted if you don't kill him and you're on a part of the map that you don't want to be on. But every single time the Timber falls, his game becomes harder and harder. It's very important on this hero that you don't die between minute 10 and minute 20, and they've now killed him once in that span of time. That early kill, that is, I guess you're gonna be fine with that. But when you have the hood and you die, it just means that you were too deep.
Let's see what Army Geniuses want to play now. Building into a BKB. Onto their Ember Spirit. Yules for the Timber Saw. Wants to be able to get out of harm's way. Being able to dispel Malefice is also very important with the Yules. That stun can be super annoying because it's technically a 4-second stun. Just in intervals. What about In Your Dream, though? Classic Basket Madness Manta build?
Dragonlance first. He's gonna disassemble it for the BKB later on.
Yeah.
Manta, you're playing against the Ember Spirit, so you won't have multiple things to remove the chains, especially because you're gonna be dealing with double those. DB is again low. Luckily for him, this time around, no one has vision of him, and this time around, there's gonna be Army Geniuses making a move. They are aware they have to control the top part of the map. The Spectre will be farming the Ancients. That's also the why he went for the Blade Mail, not only to be able to fight.
This is a great target, but they don't have a silence. And they need Fire Blast to stun the Enigma if he gets his Black Hole off. That will be disastrous. But he's too far away from the tower right now. Nigma could still somehow fight back, but they need to get there right away. Mizu applying for the Black Hole. Oh, you almost got it off. Varus was getting the stun off in time, so he doesn't get it. And that would have enabled maybe a bit of a small fight, maybe a pick off on 1 or 2 out of that. But Mizu killed. That's a good move from Army Geniuses.
It is still a smoke move, so now you want to leave a ward here to set up for a potential move to there without the smoke and without that long of a movement. So there it is. Varus places a ward, and this means that Army Geniuses now have control of their top part of the jungle. This is where the 4 of them want to fight constantly, or the 3 of them while Narman is pushing out the waves. You can see Narman is very conservative in going for the waves and always staying close to the towers because he knows he's gonna be on the menu for the storm. That's why the early glimmer, he understands the split pushing is going to be important from his side.
Nigma Galaxy playing passive on their side of the map. Storm Spirit, look at the action rune is on the other side. This is DD. Does he go for it? No zip zap today for Alacrity. They're going to leave it for Azura. By Azura, by Azura, by Azura. You know what game that's from?
No.
Okay.
Are you gonna tell me, or are you gonna leave me to?
Do you want to know? Do you want to know?
Yes, yes.
Oblivion.
I'm all about knowledge.
Oblivion.
Really?
It is the adoring fan from the arena.
Oh man, I can't believe I didn't know that. I had a graffiti Oblivion in my room. I'm so embarrassed right now.
It is the adoring fan. But let's see. Is Azura gonna be the hero of the arena, not the adoring fan, as he jumps on Alacrity. Illuminate Blast does not connect, and the root runs out. He's able to ball lightning himself away.
Mid lane?
Oh, the Black Hole connects onto the Timber Saw. That's maybe going to be better for Nigma Galaxy to get the connections out as well with the Shackles. Eclipse being used. A lot of illusions still in the battle. And Timber finally taking that with the jump coming in from Azura as well. With the Shackles, got the Malefice stun at least onto him. And interrupting him for a second. But Joker will fall nevertheless. And now looking for another setup here in your dream. He's waiting. Does Alacrity get the jump anywhere here? Looking for Azura, targeting him. Boom Boom coming in for the rescue as well. Setting himself up, but Alacrity very low on HP. The roots coming out of the wall to the Storm Spirit. Alacrity barely getting the jump up, but the Ignite's going to connect onto him. And there's a Remnant coming in as well. And Azura with the slide's going to get it. And the Luna down as well. Azura goes for the triple kill on the Ember Spirits. And Army Geniuses, they didn't quite get the kill on the bottom onto the Storm Spirit, but they make it pay on the second round, saving the Timber for as long as they could until he finally falls into a set of kills for the Dire team.
killing the Timber took so long. Enigma Galaxy getting pulled into it because they killed the Timber a few times in this game, and they're like, okay, we can do it again. But this time around, Army Geniuses were ready, and Enigma Galaxy even knew that Army Geniuses was close, but also a big part of that fight was the Ember having the DD. I think if Azura didn't have the DD, he wouldn't have done 4,000 damage in that fight, which are actually massive numbers. Without the DD, I think Enigma Galaxy survives that one, and then they could possibly go for a turn, or at least they defend the mid lane tower for the time being without losing that many heroes. So a bit of luck for Army Geniuses, but they hit their stride the way that they wanted. Still, when we look at the late game, we're still talking.
The jump of the blade mail is there though. This Storm Spirit is also very cautious about the damage he has to deal during that blade mail. Jokum being chased under the tower. Chakra, blinding light's going to be there. Ignite, fire blast, and the full nuke is there. Able to take down Jokum under the tower. Army Geniuses establishing dominance for the time being, playing with their timings.
That is what they were looking for these 4 heroes to get super strong when they're out pushing the lanes. They know that they're gonna be fine. And now the mid lane tower is gone, so they can definitely push their advantage. The big thing that Nigma Galaxy are waiting for right now is the Luna BKB, but you need to find a way to farm it. And Enigma not going for a Blink BKB this game is pretty weird, considering there are no cancels for it.
Kinda doesn't need a BKB I would like to see, but the Blink Dagger is not that much needed because Aegis is running at them as they are the whole time. Timbersaw just wants to go in there. So for the Ember Spirit, Alacrity needs some backup. Very low on HP, gets some bottle heals. He's got stick charges. Jokum in the trees. Serpent Force on placed down. Shackles will be connecting as well. Eclipse turnaround. Can they get the kills out happening onto Indoor Dreams? They're going to be taking a lot, but Jokum's down. Timbersaw hexed up. Stun from Malefice. That takes down Womi. Womi's going to be falling onto her the top with their Alacrity. Getting another hit onto him. 25 HP. He's going to get it. Azura gets him in the end. And Norman in between. There's another follow-up coming in. It's Mizu from the side. In your dream with the double kill. And the Eclipse turnaround works out for Nigma Galaxy.SEA.
3 seconds before the Spectre ulti, or maybe 10 seconds when they started that fight, Army Genius is getting a bit ahead of themselves. Shadow Shaman surviving for that long and keeping the Ember in place is what won them the fight. Imagine if just the Spectre came in there with a Spectral Dagger, the Shadow Shaman dies, the fight is over. The Ember can run away, continue using the Sleight of Fist, and again, he did 4,000 damage in that fight, but this time around, it wasn't enough. It's the same amount of damage, but the time has... the time of the game has increased, and the Nigma Galaxy heroes are just a tad bit more tanky right now. Oh man, that's just a bad thing for Army Genius. A really bad thing, because this was the part of the game where they were stronger. Next time around, they might be fighting into a Luna BKB, and yep, he can disassemble the Dragon Lance. He's just 200 gold away.
That is, yeah, small margins fights. Seen 2 of those now where one hero doesn't die fast enough, and that is going to turn around the entire fight. And that's just a pause for Shaman. It's not even like the pause 1 carry that's about to die and he stays alive and kills everybody. It's a support just not dying on time. Alacrity getting a couple punches onto Azura. Standing in melee range, going to get chained up. Did he play this a bit too far? I think he did. Instant regret. That just happened.
That's just so weird, you know. He had the illusion rune, he removes the first light of his chains, but you're playing against the Coddle Ember. Means that there's almost no downtime on the Searing chains.
Yep.
So definitely a big mistake coming out from Alacrity. And Army Geniuses, they understand they should push their advantage. They can still poke and prod, and if there's just one misstep coming out from Nigma Galaxy, they can easily take their lives, though. You can see how good of a positioning these guys are keeping, and the Luna finally has her BKB.
20 minutes now filled into this one. Nigma Galaxy and Army Geniuses still in their first game of the series. Loser gets knocked out of the tournament. Winner gets to continue for tomorrow's lower bracket final. Have a shot at the grand finals to play against Desecration.
Spectre.
Oh no, Black Hole's going to be there. Manta's not going to save you, my friend. Midnight pulls Black Hole into the Shackle follow-up just to make sure he's not going to walk anywhere.
Alacrity goes in.
And that's a pretty good fight for them because Varus is low, but can they get Alacrity? He already died once and he's rooted again. Azura. Oh, he's making him pay so hard. Storm Spirit dies in 2 consecutive fights. The Ogre lives with 15 HP. The Eidolons tried to go for a snipe on the Ogre, but Varus lives.
That's such a great move from Nigma Galaxy, and again, it's Alacrity making these mistakes. He's playing like he has a BKB, but he doesn't have one, and what Army Geniuses want to do now is force out the BKB of In Your Dream. That is the play right now.
And In Your
Just get
Dream
it
as
out.
well. He's got a BKB. He might have to use it here. Eclipse turnaround again. He's done it once. He's going to do it again. And onto Womi. Tries to get the kill on the Timber. Will be able to. Azura forced away as well. And Varus not able to help him out there. So important here for Nigma Galaxy. Keeping In Your Dream alive on the Luna. Still continues to stay at the top of the net worth list.
Army Geniuses, they had an idea to pop the BKB there, but In Your Dream, he baited so hard that they actually thought that they were gonna kill him with a sleight of fist, but they just underestimated the amount of damage and the amount of lifesteal that Luna will get if two melee heroes are next to her. The bouncing glaives are just way too much damage, and they understood now just how powerful the Luna can be, and that was the main issue of the previous fight, is that the Luna was a bit too far away. That's why Army Geniuses, seeing her on their own vision, they just went in for the turnaround there after their Spectre had died. So Nigma Galaxy, they set everything up perfectly, but I just think this Alacrity Storm needs to give a bit more respect to the Searing Chains.
3-man smoke. Mizu is right in front, but that's not the target they want to kill. They know the Black Hole's still on cooldown. He's not really the biggest target to go for, but they see Alacrity in the bottom lane. That's a big high priority target. Alacrity, he's been playing very over-aggressive a couple times. Is he going to get out in time? He is, and Azura probably now recognizes nobody's home. Dodged the gank.
Jokam in this game was thinking about going either for a blink first or for the Ag Shard first. I think he saw in the previous fights that sometimes they were lacking the damage, so he decided to go for the Shard. But I still think the blink would have been the better way to go. You can see already that the Ember is afraid of that one, and he's going for the Lincolns. And with this, he's gonna have it pretty much at the same time that the Shadow Shaman gets it. So catching the Ember Spirit in split push is gonna be quite tough. But there's a thing that Nigma Galaxy can do, because they have a Shadow Shaman and Army Geniuses cannot, and that's take the Roche. So this is a big one.
Definitely is. Age is secure. Timbersaw, he's going to show up, but he's not going to get the steal. Alacrity will take the Aegis for himself.
With him having the Aegis, it shows that Nigma Galaxy want to fight. They don't want to push. If you would want to push it, give it to the Luna, but you're afraid for Alacrity's life considering he doesn't have the BKB. So Nigma Galaxy, they just want to fight. They even want to dive right now on the mid lane. The triangle is also a part of the map that they can attack with all the spells and the Aegis that they have right now.
Yeah. Varus will tank the smoke gank here as well. Going for a D-ward run. No ward to be found, though. Nigma Galaxy able to pressure the top tower, and I think Army Geniuses should just push the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Go for a tower trade. Nigma Galaxy's kind of... Well, they don't really see anyone on the map, to be honest. So, playing cautious. Womi is on the other side of the map, and maybe Storm can jump him. But nobody can really follow up the Storm Spirit on this, so neither team actually goes for the push yet.
Weird moves from Nigma Galaxy. They gave the Aegis to the Storm and they're not playing aggressively. I would understand if they gave it to the Luna for the push on the top lane, but now, remember at the start of the game we talked about you have to punish the Coddle every single time. No one is punishing Narman. He is solo out pushing the top tower. The Ogre here is pretty much to tank the smoke so that the Coddle doesn't die. That is a smart move, but the Storm, he can come from any angle, not like Varus can stop that one. So I'm not liking what Nigma Galaxy are doing with the advantage they got from the Aegis.
Oh, but he found Varus now in the tree, so Alacrity will pop one, and the TP is kicking in. That's going to be the Ember Spirit getting the chains again onto Alacrity. He's going to need some backup. Mizu still no Blink Dagger on this Enigma. He's going to have to walk to the hands of this the Storm Spirit. Gets poked by the Chakram. Bottle regeneration does give him a little bit back, but again, AG, they hold this tower up a bit longer, and 2 minutes has been spent off of the Aegis. In Your Dream is in the front line. He's just in fog. And they can see the Ember Spirit. So this is the vision advantage they play with. Not the wards, but Luna and the Blessing.
Nigma Galaxy a bit too afraid to push their advantage, and this is a problem. You know, you're thinking we are gonna win the late game with the Enigma, but the problem is the next 10 minutes, once the Spectre gets an Ags, is gonna be problematic, because that is when Army Geniuses can constantly fight, and Nigma Galaxy, they just cannot. They didn't use their... Yeah, they want to catch the Spectre. I don't think DB is going to be caught by this one. No reason to be greedy.
Attempting on the other side of the map. Maybe they can find some luck here, but Scan will not connect. No camp to farm. Spectre hiding in the tree, suspecting something is up because nobody's showing on the map again. Nigma Galaxy, they've been playing the espionage, the spy game for a little bit. And now Army Geniuses have stacked up completely, ready for a fight. Storm Aegis, 2 minutes. They need to find a fight during that time, otherwise they've lost the advantage they picked up with that Roshan. They're trying to force AG, but AG is not falling for anything. And they're not being the aggressors, so they're afraid. They're afraid.
Army Geniuses don't want to fight right now. They want that Spectre Axe, which is coming out, but they also want the Aegis to run out on the Storm, because Alacrity is going to be their main target. He will not have enough money for a BKB once the Aegis does expire, and that is a big deal. If they fought on the side of Nigma Galaxy, they probably could have gotten enough farm on the Storm. Good thing for Nigma Galaxy, though, they have better vision around the map. That is the thing they secured for themselves with an Aegis, so maybe they can play around this.
Maybe now.
The side and timing on Army Geniuses.
Finally getting some moves to happen. Varus is going to be walking under vision, and that's going to be the opening kill for Nigma Galaxy to start making some moves happening. They've got the Eidolons AFK in the bot lane, never mind about that, so they're not really getting a super huge push going on there, but at least they can cut the split from the top lane where DB is waiting. Another last minute remaining on that Aegis. So right now, Nigma Galaxy has to push this top lane if they want to get something out of that Aegis.
See if they'll even get that one tier 2 Army Geniuses. They're gonna be happy with giving away the Ogre. They've taken away. They've taken away the most important ward. That is the one next to the Roche, because that is the part of the map where you are most likely gonna be fighting. The one on the bottom lane should get rewarded. The one in the triangle, especially now with Nigma Galaxy showing heroes on top. So it's weird that they're not getting that one down. Look at the preparation that Nigma Galaxy made. These are wards on the bottom lane that can win them the game, because the bottom tower is the one that you might start TPing
and now Army Genius is going in. They know the timing of the Aegis is 6 seconds. If they can get to Alacrity, it might just pay off Womi in the middle. They're gonna get hexed up, and the Maleficent Stun is gonna be connecting as well. Another high ground turn around Luna. Black Hole catching the Timber Saw, pushing Mizu to the back, and they got the jump onto Womi. They will lose Mizu first, and the Eul's is about to run out as the Timber Saw still in the air. They're gonna get the somebody living for now. And in your dream finally get the kill. They got the connection onto the Ember Spirit as well, but it does get the Remnant jump away. And in your dream is on the hunt. He's gonna be able to take down Varus, and now Alacrity onto the Ember Spirit. Azura, he's low, but he's Glimmer Cape by the Coddle. DB coming in for another round, looking, and Alacrity's got nothing to protect himself with, and DB's full man mode on the Spectre. Tough moment for Nigma. If they cannot keep the Spectre away, and they can't, they're gonna sack Alacrity. Army Geniuses take a 3rd kill. Womi does buy back into this one, making it a 2 for 3 plus the buyback for Army Geniuses. Timing a fight against the Aegis for Nigma, not being the aggressors. They will definitely be the aggressors in that and push the advantage.
And this is not the this was not the main fight. The main fight comes now when there's no black hole and Army Geniuses are not afraid of anything. So now is when they're gonna be pushing forward. They still have the Astral Step. It doesn't matter that they don't have the Haunt, and they're just gonna be going in and out. It's good for Nigma Galaxy that they got the BKB on the Storm, so at least the Storm isn't gonna be dying that easily. But you can see what Narman is thinking about. He wants the Aeon Disc, he wants the Hex as well, and once he gets that's a big deal. So Army Geniuses, despite playing against the Enigma, they are itemizing for the late game.
They're coming again. They're coming straight towards. They have the Haunt on the Spectre as well, able to use it, and onto the Enigma they go. Mizu is gone, and hunting Boom Bui on the high ground. That is going to be the borrowed time popping first, keeping him on the spot, and the number 2 attempt, taking down the Abaddon. Army Geniuses, feels like for the first time in an eternity, they're back in a small net worth lead for themselves, but just gotta hold on to it now.
Arcane Rune on the Ember. Army Geniuses are gonna go again. Right now, what Nigma Galaxy are trying to do is gear up for the late game. They're going for the BKB on the Enigma, but they're still gonna be needing something like a refresher, things like that, because this Spectre is becoming an issue. And yeah, he wants to go for a Skadi. I was looking, don't go for the Silence, go for the Skadi. You're playing against the Luna. That's your only problem right now.
Onto the Storm Spirit. Eul's canceling the TP as well. He's got a BKB, but he's not going anywhere to go. They're surrounded by Army Geniuses heroes. Womi with the Yule's pickup, cancelling the TP off of the Storm Spirit. And Alacrity goes down. 60 seconds gone. That's going to open up a tier 2 tower for sure as they have the creep wave. The one lonely catapult is enough to take down the backdoor protection for them.
The one thing that Army Geniuses now might make a mistake with is thinking that they can, now of course with the Storm being that they can, but thinking that they can maybe push towers tier 1s or tier 2s, doesn't matter, without heroes being dead. They just should constantly hunt.
Used not the boom buoy. He will leave his courier behind to die for the Manta Illusions. Tower falls in the bottom lane. Army Geniuses now have map control advantage.
Army Geniuses now just need chaos. Just need chaos. The only way the Nigma Galaxy are winning the fight is if the Luna is standing her ground and attacking. You don't allow that to happen. You run left and right, keep pushing in the waves and find openings. Openings will always reveal themselves, especially once the Keeper gets the Hex. It's going to be even easier to catch the Storm. The Spectre has enough damage. The Ember might even have enough damage to kill him during the duration of the Hex.
32 minutes into this one. Roche is going to be up in 20 seconds. Another single target haunt used by the Spectre. Not going to kill this Abaddon. Boom Boo is being bullied. That's the second time in a row now.
DB just wants more vision. When you use the Shadow Step, there is a Spectral Dagger that comes out as well. So that is a big thing. That is the main reason why the Storm got caught on the bottom lane. They knew exactly where he was, so the Yules could come out easily. So that's not what DB is doing. When his team isn't making an aggressive move, he's just trying to use the Shadow Step anytime he can, just to give a little bit of info what's going on. And the Scotty, almost done. That's when Army Geniuses are going to attempt to make a move. A big thing for Nigma Galaxy, they have a BKB. Next fight is going to be crucial for the continuation of the game. But if Army Geniuses don't give a straight-up fight to Nigma Galaxy, but go in and out for some of the spells and then reset, that's going to be a big deal. Again, I think they should continue to go for chaotic fights, but the big items sometimes can give you the confidence and just make you lose it for no apparent reason. Let's see how they approach the fights. It's going to be a big deal for sure.
Roshan is back in his pits. Doesn't get pulled by the Illuminate. Will not walk out of the pit, but both teams know Roche is there. Gonna have to be a team fight before Roche. Taking Roche first can be a risky move, considering the haunt and everything. But they're gonna put the wards down. They will fortify this Roche pit position. 3,000 HP, 2,000 HP. Azura coming into the side. He spots Roche's low, but they're not going to be in time for it. And In Your Dream will be the one to take the Aegis for himself. And Alacrity, he's like, where's the shard? Where's it? Is it still on the ground, or is it here at all? And Azura now going on as well. They're going to be using the haunt, and now isolating Jokam to the side. And Wumi going for the dive, looking for Mizu. Mizu with the black hole is available, but the Yules comes out with the Timber Sword just in time to tank at least a couple seconds off of the black hole damage. Another jump coming in from Alacrity onto the back. They're going to be taking down the call. They're going to be taking down the Timber Sword as well. Azura being low as well, but the Luna, he's the one holding the Aegis right now. Can they get him at the Hex? The call, they got the shackles on Azura, and that will be 3 down. And DB is disengaging as fast as possible. But can the Storm still find another jump? Alacrity's actually all the way back in base. Varus with the TP. Jokum can't get the vision on time for a Hex or a Shackle to cancel the TP off of the Ogre. But that's a victory for Nigma Galaxy.SEA.
You know that picture of a fat policeman hiding behind a pole? I mean, that's what this Ogre looked like behind the tree, but I guess it is really a good hiding spot. This is a big one from Nigma Galaxy. Army Geniuses went for that fight. I wanted them to make chaos, but they decided to go head on because they thought we have a Scotty on the Spectre we can fight. That's just not the case. In Your Dream holds his ground and just crushes everyone, even with the black hole being only on one hero.
Single halt again onto Jokum, but Jokum has got the help of his allies and his spells to keep those illusions in check. Gets a bit of damage onto him, but Jokum lives through it all. So 25 seconds until it's up again, but the Luna Glaives are doing work. The Luna Glaives are definitely doing work right now. Tier 4s are also taking a bit of chip damage, as that is your mid-racks taken from Army Geniuses in the mid lane, and Nigma Galaxy.SEA holding on to the game.
That was such a huge mistake from Army Geniuses. Nigma Galaxy got the Roche fine, but you can still spread the map. We saw in the entirety of the game that Army Geniuses were doing a good job pushing out the waves and finding those pickoffs. And now again, they're gonna go for a smoke, meaning they want to fight, but without Jocam, this time it's actually gonna be a good move.
Maybe. In Your Dream already turns around, but with the plate mail being popped, he's
not
just doing
moving.
no damage. No damage whatsoever. In Your Dream is very hard to kill. 36 armor for the Spectre to slice through. At least he's got the slows, and now getting to force the TP with the BKB. At least something's getting done here. Mizu with the BKB on the run. Alacrity is there to provide some cover for his allies to escape. So they only end up losing Jokum to that solo haunt.
Very smart from Nigma Galaxy. We can see that they understand better how their lineup works. They need all of their heroes to be together. They need the lockdown of the Shadow Shaman. And most of all, they need the black hole of the Enigma. So the second that they don't have those, they get themselves out and they will reset. Having the Aegis for another 2 minutes allows them to force Army Geniuses into a fight that they'd rather not have. And that is a fight, a straight-on 5 versus 5. You want to split the map. You want to find Nigma Galaxy one by one and then run forward with your superior mobility.
Oh, Luna.
In Your Dream?
Oh my goodness. Do you see the amount of damage that the Luna just took there from the solo haunt to the Timber? But at least the Black Hole allows them to turn it around. But
Factor is in.
he's going to go down. The Enigma's done his job pretty much anyway. But he just all down. But Alacrity gets in a jump on 2 with a Vortex. And they take down Azura. DB on the run, 400 HP. All they need to get the Spectre, they will. Double kill for In Your Dream. And he keeps the Aegis intact.
Man, 2 melee heroes next to the Luna. That's just too much damage and too much lifesteal. It is literally not fair. Army Geniuses again getting baited into, oh, they don't have a black hole, we can do it. But no, you cannot. The Luna stands her ground and you lose it. You need to use every part of your lineup, and the part of the lineup that Army Geniuses aren't using is the mobility, even though they played quite a nice game from the 30th minute mark. When Nigma Galaxy had that first Aegis, Army Geniuses were playing their best game, but as soon as the Aegis expired, they started going a little bit too deep.
How does Army Geniuses get to respond to that at all? Because if they don't hit the timing when they're at the strongest, it feels like they have no way of coming back in.
Outmaneuvering. You always have to outmaneuver. You have tools to do so. The problem is now you lost multiple fights and your item timings are a little bit off the mark. The Coddle would like to get that Hex, but that is the second lane of Rax. Now you don't really have the better movement because the waves will always go towards your base. So you have that taken away from you. The only thing that is left now for Army Genius is to fight. They will want to buy that Hex before they go for it. But as soon as they get the Hex, I think there's nothing more that Army Geniuses are going to be waiting for.
I really like this Enigma item build, though, where well, I mean, I'm still a bit iffy about the Wraith Pact. I guess it's doing work in these crucial moments where your sustained damage from your opponent needs to be mitigated by a bit. In those fights, it definitely will help. But the fact that he has not gone for the Blink Dagger, but instead he has picked up an early Aether Lens and now finishes BKB. Because Army Geniuses, literally, we've been talking about this for, what, 25 minutes now. Their way of fighting is coming at Nigma Galaxy. Nigma Galaxy doesn't need to run to them. Army Geniuses need to run to Nigma Galaxy. Henceforth, you don't need a Blink Dagger. All you need is an Aether Lens for that 200 extra, 300 extra cast range to drop down that black hole. And you can use it on a single Timber Saw. That's what he's been doing. Just focus the Timber Saw down, and we do not have an issue in these fights. And he's been doing it so well.
And, I mean, coming back to the Wraith Pact, sure, you know, it's not the greatest of items in the Enigma, but he was the only one capable of building it in this game early on. And when you look at the massive AoE damage on Army Genius, literally all of their heroes do AoE damage, it is a big deal because none of them goes to a hero and just crushes him. It's all spread around. And then the Wraith Pact, you really get super value from that item, and it's one of the strongest items right now. Mid lane?
Yep, Jokum looks like to be going down again, but can they get the air? They can! Azura with the Aghanims drops a massive Remnant Bomb on top of the Storm Spirit, who has no buyback.
Look at DB.
Mizu. He's cloaked up. BKB pops down the black hole. In Your Dreams there with the Eclipse. Do they have the damage for it? Azura stunned up and will be taken down. Womie in the middle. Luna dropping low though as DP just crashes on top of the Luna. Luna goes to life steal a second.
There's the
Black
black
hole
hole.
refresher comes out from Mizu and he's got them all. He will look for the DP kill. Yes, they will. Mizu with the refresher, the second black hole. It outplays the first one and it saves the fight for Nigma Galaxy. Keeps the Luna in check, and despite losing the Shaman and the Storm Spirit, they lose no one in a 3 versus 5 fight. Buying themselves back, and oh my goodness, what a battle.
That was such a great play from Army Geniuses, given the position that they were in.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they never expected the Enigma to buy a refresher mid-fight. He bought the refresher mid-fight. Luna was just way too tanky. Buyback from the Abaddon. Keep in your dream alive long enough. And now Nigma Galaxy, they want to end this right here.
That's
right now.
Womie. That's history for Womie. Unless DB can do something with the buyback coming into this. Well, Varus is going to go down. He's going to go for the buyback as well. Timbersaw throwing himself into the air, but he won't be able to keep himself alive. He won't be able to keep himself alive for long enough, and In Your Dream's damage output is just way too much to deal with. And Luna will clear them out with the help of the wards. That's also going to be your top racks falling. That's going to be mega creeps inside the base of the Army Geniuses and going straight towards the tier 4 towers. They want to end the game right now when they can. They've got 5 seconds until the Ember Spirit's going to be up. 13 seconds until the Caudal's going to be back into action, making it a 4v4. But the tier 4s are down. In Your Dream, turning his attention to the Ancient. The Ancient's already taken 1,000 damage, dropping down to half HP and now to a quarter HP. And that's going to be it as Varus is there, but TP trying to do the best that he can. The Cliff's not going to be there. The Ancient is down, and that's going to be game 1 for Nigma Galaxy.SEA, taking it in the end.
This is such a cool game. It was so awesome for both teams. There were slight mistakes in the approaches. Nigma Galaxy with that second Rosh, I think they could have been a bit more aggressive. Army Geniuses, when they got the Scotty and the Spectre, they got a bit ahead of themselves, thinking that they can win a straight-up fight against this Luna that just stands their ground. But man, oh man, was that a performance from them. There were mistakes, but they happen in Dota when you make so many moves. Army Geniuses, this last fight, the way that they got 2 kills in the mid lane, and the way that DB just kept tabs on the rest of Nigma Galaxy, and then the only way for Nigma Galaxy to win is a double black hole, and Mizu, he buys it mid-fight. So a lot of action, a lot of moves, some mistakes, but really both of these teams showing why they got this far into the tournament. Nigma Galaxy wins this one, but I kind of thought they were the definite favorites. It wouldn't surprise me if Army Geniuses actually takes the entire series even after this loss. It's just very little things that separate these two teams.
True. I mean, Army Geniuses, they gave some hell of a good team fights. They, like, the way that they're reading the game, the situation was super good. I totally agree with you on the point where they kill the Storm Spirit and the Shadow Shaman in the mid lane. They instantly turn their attention for more kills because they know they need to press the advantage. That's their best opportunity, but only to be brought down by the Enigma getting his first black hole off, walking out of the fight, and buying that refresher he had queued up for quite some time. He'd been saving money for it. Finally gets it, and the clutch black hole to win the game. Absolutely nuts. I can't wait to see what's going to be happening in the rest of these games. We're going to be taking a tiny break until we head over to the second game because we need a drink. You guys need a drink. We'll be back after the break for game number 2.